In the world of project management, efficiency often boils down to having clear, repeatable processes. These processes or workflows define how work moves from one stage to the next, who is responsible, and what actions need to be taken. Wrike, as a robust work management platform, excels at helping organizations define and automate these very workflows. It's not just about managing tasks. It's about building intelligent pathways for your work to flow seamlessly. As a project management expert, I frequently emphasize that a good project management tool should adapt to your processes, not the other way around. Wrike truly embraces this philosophy, offering powerful customization to create workflows that perfectly mirror your team's unique way of working. So, how exactly do you create a workflow in Wrike? Let's walk through the steps, keeping it simple and actionable. Understanding the core statuses. Before diving into creation, it's vital to grasp Wrike's fundamental building block for workflows. Statuses. A status represents a stage in your task's lifecycle. Wrike comes with a default set of statuses, like new, in progress, completed, but the real magic happens when you customize them. Think about a typical task in your team. What are the logical steps it goes through from start to finish? Is it an idea, then drafting, then under review, then approved, and finally published? Or perhaps backlog, in development, testing, awaiting client feedback, and done? These stages are your statuses. Step by step, creating a custom workflow in Wrike. Creating a custom workflow in Wrike is an administrative task, meaning it's typically done by Wrike account admins or space admins. For space-specific workflows, here's the straightforward process. Access account settings. Click on your profile image, usually in the top right or sidebar. Select Settings from the drop-down menu. Navigate to Workflows. In the left-hand navigation panel of the Settings page, click on Workflows. Here, you'll see a list of existing workflows, including the default one. Wrike distinguishes between account-wide workflows, available everywhere, and space workflows, specific to a particular space/department. Choose the appropriate level for your new workflow. For broader use, start with an account-wide workflow. Add a new workflow. Click the plus workflow button or similar new workflow option. You'll be prompted to name your new workflow. Choose a clear, descriptive name that reflects its purpose, e.g., marketing content workflow, software development lifecycle, client onboarding process. Define your statuses. By default, Wrike will start you with a couple of basic statuses, usually new and completed. You can edit these, but often it's easier to add new ones. Click Add Status at the bottom of a workflow group. Enter the name of your new status, e.g., in review, awaiting approval, ready for QA. Choose a color for each status. This is incredibly helpful for visual identification on dashboards and task views. For instance, red for blocked, yellow for in progress, green for completed. Categorize your statuses. Wrike groups statuses into categories: active, tasks currently being worked on or awaiting action; completed, tasks that are finished; deferred/canceled, tasks that are on hold or will not be pursued. This categorization helps with filtering, reporting, and how tasks appear in different Wrike views. Ensure each status falls into the appropriate category. You can drag and drop statuses to arrange them in the logical order of your process. This order will be reflected in status dropdowns for tasks. Set up transitions, optional but recommended. Transitions define the specific paths a task can take from one status to another. This prevents tasks from skipping important steps. For each status, you can click on it to open its settings. Here, you'll find an option to add transition. Select the statuses that a task can move to directly from the current status. For example, from drafting, a task might only be able to move to under review or canceled, but not directly to published. You can also set up fixed transitions, meaning a task can only move to the statuses you explicitly allow. This adds a layer of control and ensures process adherence. Add automation, the power feature. This is where your workflow becomes truly intelligent and saves significant time. For each status, you can define automation rules that trigger actions when a task moves into that status. Common automation examples include assigning a task. When a task moves to in review, automatically assign it to the head of department. Changing dates. When a task moves to blocked, automatically remove its due date. Sending notifications. When a task moves to awaiting client feedback, notify the client manager. Adding custom fields. When a task enters a specific status, prompt for input in a custom field, e.g., reason for delay. Creating subtasks. Moving a task to approved could automatically create subtasks for final polish and deployment. Wrike's automation is based on when something happens, then do this logic, making it intuitive to set up. Save your workflow. Once you're satisfied with your statuses, transitions, and automation rules, click Save in the upper right-hand corner. Applying your new workflow. Creating the workflow is only half the battle. You need to apply it to your projects, folders, or tasks. For a folder or project, right-click on the folder or project in the navigation pane, hover over Change Default Workflow, and then select your newly created workflow. Any new tasks created within that folder or project will automatically use this workflow. For individual tasks, open a task, click on its current status, and you'll see an option to switch to a different workflow. Best practices for workflow creation. Map it out first. Before touching Wrike, draw your process on a whiteboard or a flowchart tool. Clearly define each step, decision points, and who is responsible. Keep it simple. Initially, don't overcomplicate your first workflow. Start with the essential statuses and transitions. You can always refine and add more automation later. Involve your team. The people doing the work are the ones who truly understand the process. Involve them in defining statuses and transitions to ensure buy-in and practical usability. Use consistent naming conventions. Clear and consistent names for statuses make the workflow easier to understand for everyone. Leverage color coding. Use colors strategically to quickly convey the status of work at a glance. Automate repetitive actions. Look for any manual steps your team does every time a task reaches a certain stage. These are prime candidates for Wrike's automation. Test thoroughly. Create a test project or task and move it through your new workflow to ensure all statuses, transitions, and automations work as intended. Iterate and improve. Workflows are not set in stone. As your team evolves or processes change, be prepared to revisit and optimize your workflows in Wrike.